Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, Bitcoin's price is gaining pace above the $13,500 resistance zone against the US dollar. Bitcoin is likely to continue higher above 13,800 US dollars as long as it remains above 13,000 US dollars. In the past few days, Bitcoin's price started a steady increase above the $13,000 resistance against the US dollar before Bitcoin broke many hurdles near 13,200 to move further into a positive zone. After a close above 12,800, there were range moves before the price resumed its upward move. There was a breakaway, a key contracting triangle with resistance to the numbers in the 13s and the 14s. So as it stands right now, while we were all sleeping, Bitcoin jumped to $13,850, somewhere around that number, depending on where you look and which cryptocurrency exchange or which cryptocurrency price metric place you were getting your actual price from. A lot of people are stating that this is incredibly bullish for the price of Bitcoin, and I'm going to just stick to Bitcoin and not say the wider cryptocurrency market, because we have another drainage situation kind of going on where Bitcoin is going up, but the other altcoins appear to be in the red at the moment, and a lot of their Satoshi prices are also in the red as well. This one says Bitcoin inches closer to 14,000 US dollars, altcoins trying to catch up. Nearly every altcoin was in red. There were, of course, always the random ones that are up by 7%, one that's up by 1%, what have you, so on and so forth. But at the moment, Bitcoin was the largest winner within the space. This one says XRP bull run a week away as it completes bullish technical pattern. I'm seeing a lot of these as well. I'm not sure what is compelling people to believe that XRP is on the verge of a cusp of a bull run type situation, but it's a lot of places right now. It could be the token airdrop, the Spark coin. It could be the news about them potentially moving to London, which they're not going to do. Not sure what it is, but I mean, listen, if XRP's bull run is actually a week away, then this website probably deserves an award. This one says market data indicates OKEX whales are expecting Bitcoin to spike past 14,400 US dollars. This one says Bitcoin price will follow, says analysts, after historically accurate metric hits new high. This one also, Ripple XRP is about to see liftoff if it clears 25 cents. And this one says Max Kaiser predicts $28,000 Bitcoin as price surges to 13,860 US dollars. I think we've had a slight pullback, same as all these other ones. There's always going to be a slight movement backwards as we are hitting really high numbers. A lot of people are stating that 14,000 is the number to beat. 14,000 apparently is also the number that we were hearing at the beginning of this year as well, where we kept on hearing from a lot of other analysts and or people that Bitcoin needs to pass by 14,000, and that's kind of the point of no return. We saw a lot of $17,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. I saw a couple $20,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. I mean, to be fair, we do have time. It is still not even November. And I do not think it would be impossible over the course of an 8.5 week period for Bitcoin to hit $18,000 or $19,000 or $20,000, especially if the news from this entire year actually catches up with the market. This has been a very weird year. We've seen, you'll even see as the video goes on, it's clear that everyone and their mother are into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies at the moment. Anyway, yeah, tons of positive movement, price news gonna be going here, kind of things. Everyone seems expectant of Bitcoin rising further and also hitting $14,000, and then $14,000 is all she wrote, and that's supposed to be the point of the major bull run upwards. We'll see. To be fair, we've done extremely well over the last 2 weeks. What was it, risen by like $2,000, so can't really scoff at that at all. Let's move on. In very accurate 2020 news, U.S. cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has disabled trading due to feed issues amid Bitcoin's ascension towards 2019 highs near 13,880 US dollars. According to a company update on Wednesday, Coinbase said that they were currently investigating the issue while no further comment was provided. Coinbase has suffered a far too many number of outages this year during busy trading periods, including the 4th of September, the last time an outage caused trading to halt. According to the company's status page, the outrage comes at a time when Bitcoin has been fast approaching new highs not seen since last year. For those of you who may be relatively new or were not here before, the drama isn't the word. It's pretty gosh darn dramatic. Earlier this year, Bitcoin dropped. We saw Bitcoin trying to rise back above 10,000 US dollars. And at that point, the news that we already had was astronomically good. And I kept on sitting there going, it's clear that Bitcoin's going to go above $10,000. Part of the issue is that every single time, I think it was 3 or 4 times, maybe more. I remember at least 3. Every single time that Bitcoin tried to pass by 10,000 US dollars, Coinbase would shut down or had an outage or something will happen. There was always a different excuse. And then the first time I was like, this happens. Maybe their computers are just a bit too clogged or too many people are using their systems, whatever, what have you. By the 3rd or 4th time, I was like, okay, this is a bit ridiculous because the news in 2017 that we had was that Coinbase, Kraken, it wasn't Binance yet, and there was another 2, I think it was Poloniex and something else. They were all having trouble with the amount of people who were trying to get onto their platform. People saw Bitcoin was skyrocketing in price and everyone was like, okay, now I want to start buying Bitcoin when it's too expensive for me to actually buy it. And this caused all of their systems to completely malfunction, crash, go down because there was far too many people on their systems. They all claimed that during the course of 2018 and 19, they had built up their infrastructure to be able to handle anything. They said during the next bull run, we will be positively able to handle anything, millions upon millions of users who are going to be using our platform. And then at the beginning of this year, 2 years after they were making the promises, not just Coinbase, it was all of them, but the fact remains is that it's always Coinbase. Coinbase kept on shutting down, and I was like, that's kind of weird, the 4th time that you're shutting down as Bitcoin tries to pass by 10,000. I had my own tinfoil hat theories, if you will. However, this is just complete nonsense at this point. What is Coinbase? If Coinbase can't handle Bitcoin, the hype around Bitcoin as it goes to $13,800, what are they going to do when it goes to 17,000? When Bitcoin hits 17,900? When Bitcoin hits 18,950 and the news, like the actual normal news, the mainstream news, if you will, is talking about Bitcoin looks like it's going to hit 20,000. How are you going to be able to handle that hype if you can't handle this? And part of the issue is, for those of you who didn't catch the tone of my voice, is that every time Coinbase goes down, Bitcoin also suffers a little go down as well. Which is probably, I'd dare even say, I don't have the exact time frame, but one can only assume if we hit 13,880 and then Coinbase went down, I assume that right now the little $150, $200 drop that we've experienced in price probably came after Coinbase went down. Just an assumption. Anyway, right. I want to say some things, but I can't say some things. I just hope is a nice word to use, that this does not happen again because it's just nonsense. You can't claim to be the largest and or one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges on the planet, and then this crap keeps happening every single time because the anger at some point is going to spill over. You can't mess with people's money. If people figure out that every single time that they had a chance to make $6,000 like that and your website kept on going down and it stopped them from making that money, people are logically going to be angry. Anyway, I'm sure you catch my drift. So Coinbase went down, and I assume that's what caused the price of Bitcoin to go down. That's an assumption, of course, but I mean, it always lines up every single time. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, in mega popular news for today. Wow. Why did I do that? JPMorgan, the US bank whose CEO, Jamie Dimon, once called Bitcoin a scam and held a bearish stance for the cryptocurrency market, today announced the launch of its stablecoin, and blockchain protocol after years in development. Takis Georgakopoulos, the bank's global head of wholesale payments, confirmed in a note that the firm's JPM coin is being used commercially for the first time this week by a large technology client to send payments around the world. Someone said, big! JPM, the first bank to launch a commercialized blockchain service named Onyx. P.S. There's already a token with that ticker. Wow, wonderful. It's essentially Quorum alongside Link, the interbank payment network with JPMorgan coin. Fantastic. As per a CNBC report, funny that CNBC would even talk about that. But I'm going to assume, for those of you who've been watching CNBC, they probably did not mention the last couple of weeks the companies who've been buying billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Just an assumption. Behind the scene moves that persuaded JPMorgan to devote an entire business vertical to Onyx, a new blockchain and digital currency research division. Georgakopoulos stated, "We are launching Onyx because we believe we are shifting to a period of commercialization of those technologies, moving from research and development to something that can become a real busyness." So, JPMorgan coin has apparently launched. Is it called Link? So I think the interbank group is now called Link. Wonderful. Can't wait to see how this turns out. I'm sure they're pretty pleased with themselves for having been the first one to launch this, even though they're not. We had news, was it 2 weeks ago, that the bank in the Bahamas, they definitely launched their sand dollar before everybody else. So I guess this is the beginning of the race, where everyone is going to start coming forward and say, hey, we've been saying we're going to release it years later, but we're going to do it right now because everybody wants to try and keep up with the JP Morgan. I mean, do all of you expect me to really say any more? I assume these things are also garbage. I'm pretty sure. No, and also the news that JP Morgan was calling Bitcoin terrible and horrible for years, and then announced that they also own some. And I think doesn't Jamie Dimon's, almost said Jamie Morgan, doesn't Jamie Dimon's son also own Bitcoin as well? It's like, it's all about money. Anyway, yeah, JP Morgan coin has launched. It's being used by some technology firm. Sure, why not? And let's move on. If I can click it. Jeez Louise. Here we go. Marathon. Okay, I'll read the other part first, because who's Marathon? NASDAQ listed Marathon Patent Group, still don't know who they are, is buying 10,000 of the most efficient Antminer S19 Pro Bitcoin miners from Bitmain in a deal worth millions of dollars. Marathon said the deal would boost the company's operations to 23,560 miners, making it the largest self-miner in North America. When fully installed, the new machines will bring the firm's total hash rate to 5.6 exahashes per second, one of the top 15 in the world. In August, Marathon bought another 10,500 miners on the same make for $23 million. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. Jeez Louise. Think of that. You have to be sure, if you are putting in $50 million to buy machines to create numbers on a screen, Bitcoin, you have to be sure that you are going to make your money back. That is an obscene amount of money to buy computers to create Bitcoin. You have to, without a shadow of a doubt, know that you are going to make your money back, because $23 million for 10,000, and they have 23,560. That's over $50 million US dollars for crypto mining machines. Bitmain will deliver all the miners in batches starting in January through June. Cool. This was also quite popular. I assume it has to do with the idea and the unlikability of people don't like the fact that China holds such a huge amount of the Bitcoin hash rate. And we've had news the last couple of years that there were a number of companies who were trying to take power away from them, literally, like the actual energy away from them in terms of like mining Bitcoin. So there's a company called Marathon. I'm sure there's maybe, I always say I'm sure no one's heard of them. There's always one person who's like, I own Marathon. Is now they're one of the top Bitcoin miners in the US, and I assume also on the planet as well, because not many people have $50 million to throw around to buy some computers. So, yeah, this was quite popular, I assume, because, news. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, Société Générale Forge, a subsidiary of the European investment bank Société Générale, makes sense, has chosen Ethereum software incubator Consensus to provide it with the technology and expertise related to the issuance of a central bank digital currency. After taking part in a test of the digital euro in May, Forge was named by the Bank of France as one of 8 potential partners for a central bank digital currency in July. The French central bank, which represents the second largest economy in the European Union, is one of the first in Europe to experiment with the central bank digital currency for interbank settlements. Last month, Société Générale Forge moved forward with its own central bank digital currency trials, deciding to build with the Tezos public blockchain. Though Consensus is known for its work with Ethereum rather than Tezos blockchain incubating projects like MetaMask and Infura, it does have experience working on central bank digital currencies. For example, it has previously partnered with the South African Reserve Bank on Project Khokha, 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 another interbank system, as well as the Monetary Authority of Singapore on settlement of a tokenized Singaporean dollar. So, Consensus, Ethereum, banks, building, you all know where this is going. I don't even have to say it. It's always Ethereum. Ethereum is always somewhere behind the scenes. I would love to know. The word isn't why. No, it's why. Why is Ethereum always the go-to choice by governments and banks? You can even look it up. You can type in JPMorgan Chase and Ethereum. They also announced that I think JPMorgan Chase is building something on top of the public Ethereum blockchain, and they also made like an Ethereum, not a fork. I can't remember the exact term. Point is, JPMorgan Chase is also using Ethereum as well. I really wonder like how much money in the background is floating around Ethereum that so many JPMorgan, French Central Bank, the other countries we were just talking about as well, Russia, who else was there? The list really goes on and on. Anyway, the point is, yeah, Consensus has been chosen to help the Central Bank of France. I assume that's what it was. Yeah, there we go. To build their digital currency, which I think is also still kind of weird because, 1, they all use the euro. 2, I do not think that the IMF or the BIS is going to allow each individual European country to issue their own digital euro. I assume it's going to be a more streamlined thing, like coming from the very top and it'll be sprinkled on top of everyone else. Anyway, sure. Why not? Good for them, because these are only going to continue popping up more and more. It's funny how the narrative has changed dramatically quick from we don't need them to we need them right now. I think it's also part of the next story as well. Yup, an Indian bank is preparing to start providing crypto banking services at its physical bank branches. Customers can buy Bitcoin and several other cryptocurrencies at these branches with Indian rupees. Open savings accounts with crypto wallets. Open savings accounts with crypto wallets. Open savings accounts with crypto wallets. That's another really big thing. I'm looking directly at the camera because I've mentioned this before. When we start hearing about people saving, or banks offering saving and lending things, or also offering retirement accounts in cryptocurrencies, you know that we've won. There's no real going around that anymore. Make loans against their cryptocurrencies and more. Cryptocurrency users in India will soon be able to visit physical bank branches for crypto banking services, as well as learn about cryptocurrency investing. This is due to a partnership announced on Monday between crypto banking platform Kasha and the United Multi-State Credit Cooperative Society United as part of Kasha's expansive plans in India. The United is a member of the National Federation of Urban Cooperative Banks and Credit Societies Limited. The names. Dinesh Kukrej, Managing Director of the United Multi-State Credit Cooperative Society, will be the CEO of the joint venture between the two companies. The announcement details this of the joint venture Unicas will build the world's first crypto-friendly financial institution with physical branches in operation. I'm pretty sure there are multiple of those. This is just me. I'm pretty sure that we have a lot of, crypto-friendly financial institutions that have physical branches or like places somewhere. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they just met within India. They said Unicas will enable people to access traditional banking services along with crypto banking services, both online and through its 22 physical branches across North India, yada, 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 so on and so forth. They said initially account holders will be able to buy and sell Bitcoin, Casha, which of course is also, they had to make it their own coin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Bcash, EOS, Litecoin, and XRP in cash or with the account balance in Indian rupees. I have questions, mainly coming from the fact that the Indian government has not given, at least as far as I can tell, any real word onto if cryptocurrencies are going to be banned within the country or not. We heard news in March from the central bank. No, it was from the actual, Parliament. I think it was Parliament who said that the central bank had no authority to be able to ban Bitcoin or say that it was banned before. And that's when we saw a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges starting to reopen up again within India. However, whatever. I have many questions as to how this is going to work, if this is going to work. But I think it's wonderful, of course, because it's a hugely untapped market. I do assumption that the government is probably not too keen on this idea, just because there are many countries on the planet who would like to maintain complete control of currency within their borders. And I have a hankering that this is probably also one of them. Not many countries right now are in the mood to give up power to a currency that was created 11 years ago that they do not have direct control over. So I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying. However, if this is actually real and accurate, then by all means, please, I hope it continues because, just logic at this point, but logic doesn't work when people try to maintain control over billions of people. And to finish things off, it says banks cannot ignore Bitcoin any longer. After the PayPal announcement, this was said by Social Capital CEO Chamath Palihapitiya and head of Facebook's Libra, David Marcus. PayPal's decision to enable its customers or users to interact with cryptocurrencies directly on its platform continues to attract popular individuals' attention. The latest to acknowledge the significance of the move were two very rich people. Arguably, the most significant piece of news recently came last week when the online payment giant PayPal announced it would enable U.S. customers to purchase, sell, and store several cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ether. I think the other two were Litecoin and Bcash. I think those were the other two. Clients based outside the United States will have this option available next year. Where's the really interesting part? Another famous individual on the PayPal development was the Social Capital CEO and former Facebook executive, Chamath Palihapitiya. Being also a vocal supporter of Bitcoin, he said, similar to Marcus, he highlighted that every major bank is having a meeting about how to support Bitcoin. It's no longer optional. I thought that was quite fascinating because a lot of the higher up voices within the cryptocurrency space, I don't knock them because they're rich, but we usually get news like, rich person said this, let's listen to what they said. However, sometimes they are on the money, on the ball. They know what they're talking about. I'm going to assume, it even says it's somewhere around here. Palihapitiya recently said that his first Bitcoin purchase came at the start of the previous decade, so around 2010. He apparently does own 1 million Bitcoin that he got for $80 each. Later on, he outlined the primary cryptocurrency as his best investment. Imagine buying a million anything for $80 and then it goes up to $13,000. You've made a pretty good return. What I meant earlier when I was saying, the rich people thing is that especially a lot of these people, I feel like sometimes people slip or they say things that they didn't necessarily mean to say, but they still said it anyway. As far as I believe, he probably knows and or is in contact with many people in the banking industry who are having meetings right now about how to support Bitcoin. A lot of things that these people say aren't haphazard and or random, and they don't simply say them to waste their breath. So, and the guy from Libra and Facebook also said that banks will start to follow PayPal and allow for cryptocurrency trading and or what's the word? Not software, custody, and other similar things like that, which also then kind of makes sense for the other news that we were getting before earlier in the video. So I think it's happening. I think it's here. I think this is maybe also why you don't hear this news or this kind of news on CNBC or NBC or CNN or wherever you get your financial news from, because I think it would drive people completely insane. A lot of people have been asking this year how to get into stocks. I want to get into stocks. Stocks are so and so. And so a lot of my friends have also been asking me, do I know anything about stocks? And I kind of tell them, no, I'm more into crypto. So imagine if this expectation that the stock market's going to go down is there, and people are wondering how much money should I put into the stock market, and then we start getting news that no one really believes in the stock market anymore. People are actually taking their money out of the stock market, and that at some point there could be billions, if not trillions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin. Like, imagine all the adoption news that we've gotten. Imagine my last 500 videos. If you had heard this kind of news every single day on traditional financial, even normal news streams, I think the price of Bitcoin would be $38,000 at this point because everyone would really get it. But I think it's mainly people within the cryptocurrency news who pay attention to this kind of news. But it's crazy. So the point being, I assume that billionaires have discussions with other billionaires who own banks at the top of banks, and they have had discussions. Hey, my friend is thinking of doing this. They're trying to get this kind of thing. They're trying to get a bit license. I think everything will be fairly clear by next summer. Don't know why. Even since the beginning of the year, I've been saying next summer. Something feels really strong about next summer. I think a lot of things will have lined up. Will be more... The word isn't secure. We'll understand exactly where things are heading at this point. We will know without a shadow of a doubt by next summer if Bitcoin is above $20,000, if it's below $5,000, if the market is roaring, if the stock market has returned, if things with 19 have cleared up. I think within that time frame, we'll have a lot of things answered, and that'll kind of make a lot more sense. I saw a couple people talking on the internet about that. Sorry, getting this open. A lot of people were discussing the fact that the market is moving up mainly had to do right now with the PayPal news and also potentially with the news that, you know, all these people are buying up all this Bitcoin. There was also some other news. I don't have it in this video. There was also some other rich institution just purchased a whole bunch of Bitcoin as well. So it seems like a really interesting trend that all the Bitcoin's being purchased up, but I just hope that other people are also paying attention to this as well, because it is absolutely major. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Decentralized Peter, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Gray, Sigmar Hamaroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Shiner, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vladi Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangela, Vodi, Anthony Charge, Jim Garner, Jamie Fox, Minting Coins, Millis, Just Everything, Gauss, Skips, Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodeming, Boat Phase, Anytime Fitness, Mouse Hunter Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigra, Macho Nisa on Crypto with Lionel, Crayla, Michelle, URL, and Bolero, Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who's still here right now, listening to me and or watching to me. That is not English. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $13,580 US. It is up by 3.19%. There's a lot of dips all over the place. I think people are trying to control the market. People are trying to get it to go back up. We are $200, $250, somewhere around there away from the high right here before the Coinbase thing, allegedly, just assumptioning. A lot of the altcoins are in red. Their Satoshi prices are also in red as well. This is what I was talking about, the actual draining of the market. We saw this last week as well, as Bitcoin was going from 10,000 to 12,200 or something like that. It was all the other coins were completely in red because I assume that a lot of the market is just focusing on Bitcoin right now because if Bitcoin skyrockets, everything else skyrockets as well. More wrapped Bitcoin than last week. We saw wrapped Bitcoin at 99,000 wrapped Bitcoin, and then 102,000, 105,000, and now we have 114,000 wrapped Bitcoin, which means that even more Bitcoin are being locked away inside of Ethereum. I really assume we're going to hit 500,000 Bitcoin to 1 million Bitcoin locked inside of Ether really before we can even really understand what's happening. Yeah, they're all mimicking this move right here. Same move downward. Same exact move downward. We'll see where the market goes, what's going to happen, because it is going to get real very, very quick. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are continue to have, might be having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.